Hey everybody, what is going on? I am Lucas, and we have got something really cool in the Axe-Fx, and it is John Petrucci's signature JP-2C amp. Now what this amp is it's his own signature amp with Mesa Boogie, and it's his own version of the Mark 2C Plus, which is one of his favorite Mark amps. And it's really cool that we got this in here. It was totally unexpected. We do already have some 2C plus amps in the Axe-Fx, but I find this one's really unique and it's on its own. It's very easy to work with. We do have the 2C++, which is also a favorite of mine, but that one, it gets out of control really fast with the highs, but this one's a little bit different. So let's dive into it. So you have two different modes with it. What you heard just a little while ago, that was on the yellow mode, which the yellow one seems to be my favorite. And then we also have the red mode. I dialed in my red mode. This one's a little bit more bassy than the yellow mode. So watch, let me give you a little comparison. So this is the yellow. So the yellow mode is a little bit more contained. This one, if you want something really big and fat. I don't have the gain up as I actually have the gain a little bit higher on here. I lowered the gain. I had it up around 5, but I dialed it back a little bit. Actually, I recorded a loop in here. Let me just let you hear what I'm talking about. I kind of like my stuff back a little bit because I don't like it to get a little bit, out of control. So you can do it one of two ways. You can do it with the authentic mode. The authentic mode, what this does is it just gives you the controls that are in an actual amp. If you come to ideal, you get a lot of different things. This is just kind of like that kind of extra added extra control that you can get. I put the fat switch on because this really makes the mids a lot more chunky, and I like the way it sounds. I think that's the secret to getting the marks to sound good on here, is to engage in a fat switch. I do have the bright switch on to get everything nice and bright. So for the yellow mode, in the amp itself, in the JP-2C, there's this thing you can engage in, it's called shred mode. What Cliff wanted to do, instead of limiting us to a button, all you really have to do is you bump up the high treble a little bit. I bumped it up to 3, and then that was like the perfect place for me. So watch, I'll put it at 0 and then I'll bump it up to 3. As you can hear, it opens up the high end a little bit, but it doesn't get too harsh. Let me actually show you what I did in my output EQ, because this is going to explain what I did and when I turned my knobs. So I got the typical Mark V going on. Now, if you look at John Petrucci's settings for his JP-2C, where he did a video on that, it has like a bazillion views. He kind of has his set like this, but he really scoops the crap out of 750. I played with this a lot because this amp is loaded with mids. Watch what it sounds like without the EQ. As you can hear, it's loaded with mids, so I scooped some of those mids out. Put a little bit of 6600 up in there. Not too much because you don't want it to get too harsh. And what's really cool about both modes, as you can see right here, is we have a presence shift. And I really like what that presence shift does. It brings up the low end a little bit more, and it brings up the high end, and you don't have to push the presence as much. Let me let you hear what it sounds like with and without. I just find it makes it a lot more exciting with it on, so I put that on. This is what I did with the EQ right here. I pushed the bass up, took out some mids, and pushed up a little bit of the highs. So and I also have bright switch and fast switch on. So what I did, let me go to authentic, make things a little bit easier to see. The high treble, as I said before, I put that as 3 because I engaged the shred mode. My treble is at 5. Mids, I put it at 3. Bass, I put it at 1 because even if I drop it to 0, you still have a lot of bass in here since I jacked it up in the output EQ. And then the gain, I put like a bit of that before, got that kind of low presence. I got it around like 6, because I find it kind of starts to come alive when you get around 6 and 7. I actually didn't even touch the master at all. I did not touch anything in the preamp, nor the power amp. I actually didn't touch anything in the power supply. I left the side like it was. Speaker, I think this loads up at 120 or so. I just dropped it down to 85. I usually do that to a lot of my amps. I just take it and drop it to 85, and it gives it a nice, good tight low end. No speaker drive. This was actually at 2 and 100, which I normally set it at, so that is great. I didn't screw with the input EQ at all. Let's go over to the cab. I did something a little different for this. I actually used the built-in cab for once, which is totally new for me because I always use other IRs. I used the Hammer V70 57 IR. This is a stock one. It sounds really good. I was kind of going for more of like a Petrucci-esque tone, so that's why I picked this one. But I am a equal opportunity IR employer, so I'll scroll through them just so you can kind of, get an idea what it sounds like with different IRs. This is what I built it on. I did not build it on any of these. But this is the Hammer Zilla. This is the ML USA Gent, which is based off of, I think it's the same cab as this one. It has the V70 speakers in it. And this is a Dr. Bonkers Mesa cab too. So, okay, so this is the Hammer Mesa, which is built off of. Let's hear what the Zilla. These all have V30s, by the way. Less low end on that one. This is the ML Gent. This is this is D1. This is what mic I use. And this is the Dr. Bonkers 412. This is a mix of a 57 and a 420, I believe. Let's see. 420, yeah, 421 and a 57. And it actually doesn't sound bad with any of them. It sounds great with all of them. Just did a little different flavor. Some have a little more low end, some have a little bit more bite. I just kind of went with this one because I haven't really built anything with it before. Anything else that I forgot to go over? I don't think so. That's literally all I did. I went in and dialed it in. By the way, I'm using Aristides 070 with Elixir strings and Tosin Fishman 7-string pickups. So if you do download this patch, and you plug, you go to play right away, and it sounds like absolute ass. First things you need to do is you need to check the IR, make sure you have one of your good IRs, or you know what it sounds like, one that you like to use, and don't get discouraged. Turn knobs, because me dialing in here with this guitar, with my ears, with these strings in this environment, is going to be totally different from you dialing it in at your place. It's different, so just use your ears. Use your ears and don't get frustrated. Also, the looper is your very best friend. Record yourself playing a riff and then come in here and tweak knobs, because it makes it so much easier to tweak stuff. It really does. It takes the thinking out of it and the playing out of it, and you can focus just on how things sound. So that was a yellow with the shred mode engaged, and I did make a little lead patch based off of the yellow on B. It's based off of that one off of scene 2. I added some reverb, dual delay reverb. Excuse me, dual delay, and stone chord reverb. I had this in one of my lead patches back on my Max FX 2, and I really liked the way it sounded, so I kind of just poured it over here. If things get a little bit noisy when you do this, just come over to your input and your gate and bring it up a little bit. I brought it up and see it's muting right now. It's muting that noise. And there, I turned the gain up a little bit. That's literally all I changed. And I dropped the enhancer on here. And really quick, I used the enhancer to balance the level. Once I added this, the noise level came up a lot. Instead of turning down the amp, I just turned down in the enhancer. Or I just did that because I have the enhancer off on scene 1 and 2. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a lot of talking. Let me let you hear what the lead patch sounds like using the neck pickup. Delay sounds absolutely great. Cool thing about this amp, Leon Todd actually brought this to my attention. By the way, go subscribe to Leon Todd. The dude has tons of amazing stuff. He actually built a JP-2C patch too. His is really great. Make sure you check it out. He gives you a free IR. Presence and treble on here doesn't get out of control very fast. And that's what I really like about this particular 2C Plus. Watch. Let me play the loop and you hear what I'm talking about. On the other 2C++, the Metallica amp that's on here, if the presence, you literally have to leave it at 0 because it gets out of control so fast. But as you can hear on here, the taper on it has got to be different because as you go up, it doesn't like automatically insult you with 8K and 10K of high end kicking in there. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for my JP-2C patch. If you have any questions, any comments, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I'm actually really enjoying this amp a lot. I kind of go back and forth with the Mark amps. I played the Mark IV forever on Max Effects 2. I've been playing the Recto a lot in here, but I think this will be one of my new favorite patches. So anyway, any comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below. So me, I'm gonna have to be out. Peace.